Hello, and thank you for joining us for this encore presentation of one of Viking's most special journeys. Our friends at All Travel look forward to building the trip of your dreams, and at Viking, we look forward to welcoming you on board. Enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining Traveling Virtually with Viking. We truly appreciate the support of our travel advisors who invited you to attend this presentation today. Please note that our virtual chat and question box is open, so type those questions in as we go. We'll be answering them during and after the presentation. And now I'd like to introduce you to Eric Molina, Viking Director of Business Development. Eric has been with Viking for 12 years, so he brings us a wealth of knowledge on Viking product and the destinations we travel. Let's welcome Eric as we discover Viking Homelands. Eric?
How you doing? Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate that wonderful introduction. And welcome, folks. Thank you for joining us on another episode of our Viking Traveling Virtually, so our virtual traveling series. And we'll be speaking today about the Viking Homelands. And I'm very pleased to share this with you, having sailed the Viking Homelands myself. So before we get started here, I will take myself off camera. I want to thank you all again for joining us and thank your trusted travel advisors, agents, and counselors out there that invited you to join us today. Continue to participate and traveling virtually, and hopefully everyone's staying safe and healthy during this pandemic. So with that being said, I will take myself off camera. I'll come back here in a little bit, but let's discover Viking Homelands as we know it. It's really one of our flagship itineraries, if not our flagship itinerary at Viking with regard to Viking Ocean. Our ocean cruises, we do sail here by 2022. We will be able to say that we sail on all 7 continents, but it's very pleasing and it's very with great honor to say that we introduced ocean cruising in the middle half of 2013, and we actually started sailing in 2015 with our Baltic cruise, right? Our Baltic cruise, as you see here, as far as the Viking Homelands, this is really the world of Viking Ocean as we know it today, with our expedition product that we introduced in January, and we will start sailing in 2022, again, sailing the Arctic and Antarctica, and also the Great Lakes, which will be a little bit closer to some of our homes. You'll see that we're sailing on all 7 continents by the year 2022. Of course, known for small ship cruising, as we did start just about 23 years ago. We're actually celebrating our 23rd anniversary this month. We started in river cruising, so we feel we're the small ship experts bringing over 2 decades of expertise. It's truly why we started ocean cruising. We're just at under 1,000 passengers. And I just wanted to highlight some of those topics, just simply so just gets you in the right frame of mind as far as what we've brought to ocean cruising and what we've been able to deliver over the last, again, almost 5 years now. And we'll talk about, again, the Viking Homelands being one of our flagship itineraries. For conversation's sake, we'll go in the direction of Stockholm to Bergen today. So what that looks like is, let me break this down for you here in the day by day. Stockholm to Bergen, again, it can sail from Bergen to Stockholm. We sail throughout, really very much like your Alaska sail season from May through late September, so about September timeframe. But you do have like an Alaska sail season for the Baltic. So this is jam-packed with value. As you can see here, 15 days. So it is a 2-week cruise. And there are very few itineraries out there across the board where you have 2 weeks on a cruise and you only have 1 day at sea. So that's your day 7 in this direction, Stockholm to Bergen. So it is not for the faint-hearted. I've heard that a lot from folks that go on a Viking Homelands itinerary. You are visiting a different port of call or have a different set of tours and excursions on a daily basis. Some of the highlights, again, is the fact that you only have that 1 day at sea, and you do have a couple overnights with regard to the itinerary, specifically that St. Petersburg time. Plenty of opportunity in St. Petersburg, Russia. For those of you that are familiar with river cruising with us, we did start sailing in Russia. We do still sail along the mighty Volga River. My point being is that with our river product, you do need a full-blown Russian visa. Not the case as long as you're on our tours and excursions with the Viking Ocean program, the Viking Homelands. So for those of you that are a little bit more visual, let's take a look at what that map looks like sailing from Stockholm to Bergen. All the wonderful cities and towns we will certainly discuss here moving forward. But I want to kind of visually show you what that looks like over the 2 weeks and traversing this great Northern Europe, Scandinavian region of the world. So again, 15 days, 11 guided tours and excursions already built in, 8 countries for your folks that really love to collect those magnets out there. We'll start in Stockholm, truly stunning archipelago. It's nestled right there where the lake meets the Baltic. It certainly is spread over 14 islands, and the bridges are just, they're iconic. The bridges that connect Stockholm. So you have about 57 of these just graceful bridges that connect the city. Very much your German influence architecture. You do visit the Old Town, and it is just a stunning city with your panoramic city tour that's included with Stockholm. Being able to visit the Vasa Museum in Stockholm by boat, the Dronholm Palace and Court Theater, Life of the Vikings. I mean, these are just some sensational optional tours and excursions that are available to you in Stockholm. Some additional time, we'll talk about some pre and post extensions as well that you can arrange with your favorite travel agent, of course. I think they're going to be a wealth of knowledge for you to lean on as you kind of put together what you're trying to accomplish with your Viking journey. My Viking journey is the way you would do that. Again, even your included tours and excursions, you want to kind of check mark and benchmark a time frame to participate in those if you so choose to. But on the Viking Homelands, you have a slew of optional tours and excursions, really able to then again tailor your journey and accomplish what you're looking to do so. So whether it's that cultural immersion, remember with small ship cruising, it's all about less time getting there and more time spent within the port of call. And that does not go away from our river cruise sailings as well as ocean cruise sailings. And then here very shortly, sailing along the Mississippi River, and also with our expedition product, you'll see that we will continue to stay true to form with the Viking mentality, delivering the destination and having the ability to spend more time within that port of call. So whether it's a vintage train ride or a Royal Canal cruise or developing and understanding the flavors of the North from a food standpoint in Stockholm, you certainly will have time to do so as you arrive, and then you have the entire full day spent in Stockholm. That archipelago, the ability to sail out or into Stockholm is pretty fascinating as you see how it's all connected by the bridges. So again, pretty neat stuff. The additional time can be spent in a pre or post extension in a hotel. And that's, again, something that you would arrange with your trusted travel advisor. Spend the next day in Helsinki, known as the White City of the North. Take the included city tour and visit the cathedral. It's magnificent green and gold domes. It certainly represents Christ and the apostles. But you do have that glimpse of Helsinki. You can also experience Helsinki by bicycle. Very, very popular. Panoramic Helsinki, and also the kitchen table, and also flavors of Helsinki, and then a kayaking adventure for those folks that would like to participate in more of an optional excursion that's touring like a local, a little bit more rigorous, a little bit longer duration of a tour. We understand that not everybody moves at the same pace of service, so we certainly do tier our shore excursions. Very simplistic, a 1 through 3, 1 being the least rigorous, more like a gentle walkers program, and 3 is going to be touring like a local, a little bit more rigorous, even longer duration of a tour, more for your active trekkers. So Helsinki by sea, even visit the ability to do a reindeer feeding and also include your panoramic tour of the city. So very, very neat. And also, collecting another city in another country, I should say, along the itinerary with Finland. Into St. Petersburg, regal St. Petersburg, so much to see and do, from the lavish and bold showcase of its true founder, right, Peter the Great. So all the grand boulevards, it's a lacework of canals, it's elegant Baroque and classical buildings, just palaces and dazzling onion dome churches. They just grace the landscape. I truly can't say enough about visiting and doing and participating in the panoramic St. Petersburg to really orient yourself in this magnificent city in just a couple hours. Photo stops along the way. If you are inclined to visit some of the world-renowned museums, it's certainly the city to do so, whether it's the Hermitage Museum, exploring the Russian Museum. One of my favorites that I participated on was the Peterhof Palace and Gardens. It is a longer, it definitely is a longer optional tour and excursion, about 3/4 of the day, but well worth the visit out to the Peterhof Palace and Gardens, and then being able to take a hydrofoil across the Gulf of Finland, almost James Bond-esque, right? So your Catherine Palace and Gardens, your Fabergé Museum as well. And then for those of you that are really, really into a museum experience, especially with the Hermitage being so world renowned, you can take advantage of one of our privileged access opportunities. Again, we'll talk a little bit about the way we break things down at Viking with regard to tours and excursions for discerning travelers like yourselves. We have a local life, working world, and privileged access opportunities. And this is one of the first of many along the Viking Homelands, and one of the ones that is most spectacular with the Hermitage behind closed doors. So again, it's limited to a small amount of folks sailing with us, and also limited to, sometimes these privileged access opportunities are limited to only Viking guests. So again, privileged access, we continue to build relationships across the entire globe and continue to maintain those relationships as we deliver these exceptional opportunities to our guests. So with that being said, you can also do the Grand Canals, Peter and Paul Fortress, General Staff Building of the Hermitage. So really going behind, again, the closed doors, privileged access opportunities, and then, Black Caviar as well. So, if you are a foodie, you want some sort of food or decadent type opportunity, you're certainly able to access that along the way. We certainly continue to bring those choices. I think that's the great thing about small ship cruising. Specifically with Viking, we offer a ton of different choices. You're able to really tailor those with your favorite travel agent to accomplish what you're looking to do so on your specific journey. I mean, we may all want to sail on the Viking Homelands, but we may not want to see it all the same way. So just another couple images of St. Petersburg here. Again, just a reminder, if you are participating on our tours and excursions, there's no need for a full-blown Russian visa to participate on the Viking Homelands. The full-blown visa would be only if you're doing your own thing while you're in St. Petersburg, and also with our Russian river cruise, when we visit Russia by river cruise. So just allowing my internet here to catch up. I know it's been running a little slow, folks, so I do apologize. But again, it's St. Petersburg, lavish and bold, and very much a salute to Peter the Great. Very well. As we move into Estonia, we do visit the wonderful city and town, medieval streets, old town of Tallinn. So you feel the really the 14th and 15th centuries of the Estonian capital. So Tallinn Old Town walking tour, pretty spectacular. Again, you can do Tallinn by bicycle. Old Town Tallinn and the Chocolate Workshop is one of our most popular optional excursions for those folks that really love chocolate and the makings of chocolate. You can also do a Soviet flashback in the Estonian Open Air Museum and Tallinn Upper Town walk, and into Estonia's stunning countryside as well. Again, just a slew of optional and things to take advantage of with regard to this city. One of the things that I found most interesting is how walkable this city really is from where we're docked. You're about a stone's throw away from city center. And again, the old town, it just is, if you want to do your own thing, this is a great place to come into Old Town. There's hundreds of cafes and restaurants, and just a great place to have that lunch off the ashore. not have to go back to the ship for lunch if you so choose to. And I feel that along the Viking homelands, you have a lot of those opportunities. You have a lot of those opportunities along small ship cruising with Viking, to be quite frank. But I just love the ability to leisurely walk Tallinn, and the ability to participate in that local life type atmosphere where you're living and breathing and people watching for that matter, and also be able to get some shopping done here in Tallinn. So again, another kitchen table experience. Leisurely walk the old town with our walking tour, or also visit the manor house there and its surroundings, the Joe Manor. So Joe Manor. So Joe Manor house and its surroundings. So with that being said, just another view of what that looks like in Tallinn as we move through the itinerary. Again, a slew of optional and alternative choices to make with regard to your journey on the Viking homelands, and Tallinn's not going to be any exception to that. It just gives you the opportunity to really get a lot of your walking done on your own if you so choose to, whether it's in the Old Town or the Upper Town Walk. Some beautiful images of the capital there of Estonia, which is Tallinn, and it's just a remarkable, again, very walkable city, very approachable, very friendly. In fact, I sit here in San Antonio, Texas. One thing that stands out to me about Tallinn is that I've traveled many places in the world, and the reason why I mentioned Texas is that I've never seen a true honky-tonk cantina outside of the state of Texas, in another country, I should say. And lo and behold, in that old town, it has so much to offer in Tallinn that it actually even has a Tex-Mex honky-tonk cantina in the city of Tallinn. So again, I just think that's a funny, quirky thing to mention. Of course, many of you may or may not be into honky-tonks or know what they are, but I just think it's pretty exceptional that the wide variety and the wide array of opportunities that you have in Tallinn, again, with the museums, the walking tour, being able to bicycle it around, and then also something very unique like I just mentioned. So wonderful city, capital of Estonia. Then, we take a little bit of a deep breath here when we cruise the Baltic Sea. You have your day aboard the ship. It's your one and only day at sea, so you can learn more about the upcoming destinations, really get to understand and know your resident historians, all the intriguing port talks, the ability to finally explore your ship, right? As I said, you get an opportunity to catch your breath, perhaps unwind in the spa. Remember, access to the spa on board the vessel is included. The only thing additional would be, services. So if you want to have a massage or you're looking for some sort of treatment, that's going to be additional. But access to the wonderful spa or taking a dip in the infinity pool is there is no spa day fee or anything like that. So that's already included in your price point. So as you enjoy your day at sea, it's really an opportunity to catch your breath and get ready for the days ahead as we move into the country of Poland. We visit Gdynia, right, where we dock, and then we go into Gdańsk and explore this remarkable restored Polish city, learn about all its rich history, and it's with a very enlightening excursion. And then it's the Hanseatic League of old, with being one of the richest cities from the past, and you have that opportunity to. This is an opportunity to also visit the Stutthof concentration camp as an optional excursion, the Malbork Castle, the Amber Museum, known for its, jewelry wise, amber wise, and its minerals. So, and then you also have the ability to visit, again, for you foodies, a kitchen table optional excursion, right? And what that means is that you're going out, you're provisioning, you're learning about, a dish that's going to be regional to the area we're visiting along the itinerary. You're going to come back and make it with our chefs and prepare it and then even enjoy it. So again, the kitchen table is a wonderful experience that happens. It's both ashore and then on board. So for, again, you foodies and you folks that want to really take away a food experience, this is going to be your cup of tea, so to say. So you can also visit the Gdansk and also an Oregon concert, and then also cruise the canal there and have a city tour. So again, another slew of optional choices and decisions to make as we continue to flow. We flow now into Germany. We flow into Berlin. We do include Berlin your way. So you do have some time in Berlin. It is about a 2.5 to 3 hour motor coach from where we're actually docked in Warnemünde. And it's beautiful scenic countryside as you make your way to the historic capital of Germany, and that would be Berlin. So you do have some choices to make with regard to the way you want to experience Berlin, or if you actually wanted to just stay in the quaint German town of where we're docked. You certainly can do that. You have an opportunity to do that. Hanseatic Rostock and Brewery tour. You can visit the Sherwin Castle, the iconic sites of Berlin as well, and then do scenic Berlin by coach and cruise, or even spend the entire day, because it is quite a bit of a motor coach ride out to Berlin. So we do Berlin and lunch out in Berlin. So you do, again, have so many opportunities with the way you see this, whether it's Checkpoint Charlie, the remains of the wall right between East and West Berlin. It's just a fantastic city, so modern, offering you such modern elements with the city, but also being a throw to an era that maybe is not so far off in the distant past, as far as it being rich in history. And when you think cosmopolitan and a European cultural capital, Berlin is rich in that. Whether it was artists, music, or just artists in general, every form of art really had a chance to, if they wanted to spend time in Berlin, they always speak to that. Or anybody that did spend time in Berlin from an artist standpoint does speak to how influential the city was on their career. So wonderful documentaries and so forth that go along with some of those artists, and I think it's worth the treat. I certainly took that motor coach. May it be long to get there and long to get back. I think you do have ample opportunity to explore Berlin, and it'll make you want to come back. I truly feel that it's one of those top 5 cities for me that I would like to spend more time and maybe just visit Berlin on its own, or combined it with a pre or post extension on an upcoming river cruise. So as we go into Denmark, we are docked there in Copenhagen. So a Viking fishing village founded in the 10th century. This is the Danish capital, boasts almost 900 years of history. You'll have the entire day to explore Copenhagen. You're another one of these cities where you can explore it by foot. You have all the landmarks of Copenhagen. You learn about the city's history during that walking excursion. You also have the ability to visit Copenhagen and the castles of North Zealand, right? So castles of North Zealand, and then you can do a jazz cruise through Copenhagen, and then also visit the Copenhagen's, or take advantage of the Copenhagen's Food Lovers Tour, which is essentially eating your way through Copenhagen, for lack of a better term here. And it gives you that opportunity to do an evening gourmet stroll and to do a sweet treat creation of a cakehagen, right? So cakehagen is very, very popular in Denmark. It's very much your Danish traditional baking type experience. So I would say this with Copenhagen, it's again very much like Tallinn, where you are able to experience it at your leisure. Very much a walkable city from where we're docked, and makes for a day at leisure. So you have really your entire day spent within the city, included tours and excursions. Again, we do tier our shore excursions, but we do offer a slew of optionals with regard to local life. So, you know, your home visits, your language lessons, really feeling what it feels like to live, breathe, and, you know, again, live in that city, town, or village that we're visiting. That's a lot of what we do with peeling back the layers of the onion with our local life. Working world is exactly that. We pull the curtain and we give you an opportunity to experience what it's like to spend a day with an owner, a general manager, somebody that runs the day-to-day and the just scale of economy with regard to a working world type experience. And then again, we talked about privileged access, and it's certainly there are optional excursions throughout this itinerary that give you an opportunity to experience privileged access and optional excursions that are only available to a very select suppliers out there. Some are, again, only offered to Viking guests, and then also offered to only a small group of Viking guests. So those are things that you're going to want to do as soon as you're able to book your tours and excursions, whether they're your included excursions or anything that you want to tailor made to your journey. You want to get with your travel advisor and go through those choices. I think it's really important to benchmark your days and really select, what you're going to do each and every day. So Aalborg, Denmark is founded by the Vikings in the late 900s. So it's a city that straddles both sides of the Limfjord Sound. So it's, you really get to spend the morning there in the New Square. You're able to see the Renaissance style homes, your Baroque style town hall. And you also have the ability to see the charming 14th century Waldorfi church. So again, it's a opportunity to explore a town that is very picturesque and has the opportunity to be very walkable, and you're just walking beyond these major highlights. We also introduce you to Danish beer as well. Very, 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 very well done. You have the opportunity to meet the Danes, visit the manor house there, another kitchen table experience, and then the Aalborg Fjord by bike. So pretty spectacular for you folks that are looking for something a little bit more rigorous. So from the old town of Stavanger, is where our ship berths. You have the early morning and early afternoon to explore. So you kind of start in the old quarter. You can, it's one of Europe's highest concentration of wooden buildings from the 17th and early 18th centuries. So you do have that Stavanger walking tour and oil museum. You can also do an included panoramic tour. We also do a Stavanger by helicopter, and we do a home visit opportunity as well. So again, another array of opportunities and choices to make when visiting this portion of Norway on the Viking homelands. For you foodies, you have a taste of Stavanger, and then you can do curling with a pro, right? Our Norwegian Vikings are known for their, curling. So that's also an optional tour and excursion for, again, folks that are looking for a little more adventure, a little bit more than just the highlights only, need something more than just the Gentle Walkers program. They're able to really, again, cultivate the enrichment that they're looking for, whether it's from the onboard lectures, the language lessons, home visits, the list goes on and on as far as being able to really customize your Viking Homelands itinerary. So just an idea of what that looks like in Norway as we start to sail. And then, we also do a fjord by rib as well. So it's some pretty adventure type optional tours and excursions, once of a lifetime opportunities, even doing Stavanger by helicopter. So into Eidfjord, Norway, we cruise through the breathtaking fjords into the village of Eidfjord. So it's nestled in the heart of one of Norway's most scenic regions. We ascend Europe's largest mountain and plateau, and you just have sweeping views of the epic Nordic landscape. So if you are familiar with Norway and its landscapes, and it's just been on that bucket list, I think you're in for a treat, as whether you start in Bergen or end in Bergen. I think as we sail through this area, you will be, again, just breathtaking vistas and landscape and just epic Nordic views. And, it gives you, again, lots of opportunity to see what that scenic railway is like, that kayaking adventure. You can go into Voss and, and visit the Voss and Bergen Railway. Several Viking villages. You can do Eidford by boat as well. And you can also do Eidford from above. So there, again, are just many ways to experience these sweeping views and being able to sail through this area of the fjords. So sadly, we've made our way into Bergen. Bergen's a great city, of course, but I say sadly because it's coming to the end of our journey here. But Bergen is spectacular. We're talking about it's encircled by the majestic mountains, the fjords, the glaciers. Bergen was home to Viking, to many of the Viking sagas. So your ship will be berthed right there in the Bryggen Wharf. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's easily to stroll into the waterfront, beautiful 18th century wooden houses, and you can visit the Hanseatic Museum on your included tour and excursion. So you can do your panoramic Bergen tour, a snap of Bergen, the Dale of Norway. It's a living museum, one last kitchen table experience. And then you have the ability to do some Norwegian gold and silversmiths as we, again, hopefully we will have you back on board, right? But, this is the next day where you awake in Bergen and you're typically either departing for your ship or you are just starting. But with that being said, for conversation's sake, we went from Stockholm to Bergen. So in this case, you would be waking up the next day, departing your ship, and either visiting an extension that we have opportunities to do, whether it's the capital of visit Norway's Cosmo city of Oslo, or a journey to Iceland. So those are some things that we have as a post in this case. But let me give you the explore more pre and post opportunities. You have Stockholm for 2 nights. You have Iceland and the Golden Circle. So, you have more days to explore, adding to that 2-week Baltic cruise from Stockholm to Bergen. So you have, again, Stockholm for 2 additional nights, Iceland and the Golden Circle for 3 nights, Oslo and Scenic Train for 2 nights, and then new here for, again, for Bergen, 2 additional nights to be able to, really uncover. I think I spent an additional night or 2 in Bergen, and it just gives you the ability to explore more. And it's just, again, it's encircled by those majestic mountains, all the fjords, the glaciers, and you can take that and all that Viking history in. Ultimate Iceland, spending 5 days coming into Reykjavik and spending 5 days in Iceland. And then the Best of Norway and Scenic Train, that is 4 nights combining Bergen and Oslo. So again, many choices to make, whether it's optional tours and excursions, whether it's your included excursions again, and then also if you want to spend additional time pre or post. That is, again, why we want you to work with your trusted travel agent. He or she is going to be a wealth of knowledge and be able to point you in the right direction. So very quickly here, don't want to bore you with too much information, but this is the exact vessel that you would be sailing on. They're all sister ships. So you're just under 1,000 passengers. You're at 930 being the maximum capacity. We are, again, classified a small ship, and we are in that small ship segment of travel when it comes to everything that we're delivering on a worldwide basis. So river cruising, expedition, ocean cruising, and these are the ships that make up our fleet. First introduced in 2013 and started sailing on the Baltic in 2015. So these are your Viking ocean vessels. It's been very well received. Been very, very well received. The readers of Travel and Leisure, thank you so much. If any of you are readers of Travel and Leisure and you have voted, because you've continued to vote us year in and year out since we've introduced the product. A couple of years running now, 5 years to be exact, we are the #1 ocean cruise line in our ship class category. So thank you so much for your support and continuing to vote for us year in and year out. So 5 years in a row, world's best ocean cruise line, that small ship category. So, and no exception, designed very much like your Viking longships and any other ship that we've designed here recently and that we continue to put forth for our trusted travel partners and our guests, of course. Serene Scandinavian spaces, so making every part of the ship very comfortable, exploring the world in comfort, understated elegance, open, light-filled spaces. So it's all about letting as much light in as possible. It's very much that Scandinavian decor with the touch of Norwegian folkloric decor. So elegant touches, you know, that kind of just really bring out our Viking heritage. And we just want our guests to feel like they're surrounded by literature, history, music, art, and relaxation is an integral part of that. It's quiet, it's comfortable. We try to ensure that by not having any sort of casinos or outside distractions on board, from a standpoint of no casinos and everything that comes along with a casino. Not to say that they're bad, just that it's just not who we are here at Viking, for that matter. We just are trying to eliminate the sounds and some of the things that come along with the casino. And then also no one under the age of 18. So that's consistent throughout the entire Viking cruise line. We don't have anyone under the age of 18. So 18 or over to be able to sail with us, whether it's on our ocean vessels, river, or even our new products coming out here in 2022 and beyond. So again, very much light-filled spaces, elegant touches, very much a resort casual type experience. There's no sequence dresses or black tie or formal night events or anything like that. You can dress up as much as you like, but it's not necessary. So with that being said, I think I've kind of run my course here, but what I did want to mention here is our all veranda staterooms on our ocean vessels. It's a perfect retreat, especially on the Viking Homelands. I think you'll come home pretty worn out as you're kind of on the go. You're typically in a different country every day. And even when you're in St. Petersburg for those 2 full days, you're kind of running and doing your thing, and you want to explore as much as possible. So it gives you the ability to come back to, at minimum, an all veranda stateroom, US king size bed, comfortable amenities, and just really, I think, 100% nailing the fine art of detail. So again, whether it's those king size beds or it's just how thoughtfully laid out the closet spaces are, the heated floors, the able to read toiletries. It's just a lot. It's just an attention to detail and an effort from Viking to make it as comfortable as possible, so you can really get recharged, get ready for your next day of touring excursions, and never miss a beat. Or we make it very comfortable. Some folks say they never want to leave their stateroom. So so to say, to each their own. But with that being said, I want to thank you so much for your attention. Please, if there's any questions or looking for price, availability, any sort of more detailed information, you're looking for some of those videos, please visit Viking.tv. It's been an extremely great hit. A lot of information there. And then you can also follow up with your trusted travel agent, your favorite travel agent that invited you to this virtual event, and follow up with them with regard to pricing and availability. If you just want to look at videos and recipes and so forth, that's what you're looking at Viking.tv for. We have live broadcasting every day, and then it's all on demand. But if you want pricing, availability, and detailed questions answered, please reach out to your favorite travel agent. With that being said, do we have any questions, Michael?
Yes, we do, Eric. So our first question is, what months does this itinerary run?
Yeah, so I'm going to put myself back on camera here. Sorry about that. There you go. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that. I think I'm just having slow internet today, and I keep having. I hope that you didn't hear an echo the whole time, but I just have this wonderful echo that I've been just hearing myself all day. So I sincerely apologize, but I think I heard you say that you're looking for the time frame that this actually sails.
Correct.
Yeah, so you're looking at May through September, so very early May. It's very much like your Alaska sales season.
Perfect. And then the next question is, do we typically offer air promotions with this itinerary?
We do. We certainly do. We have some pretty aggressive cruise pricing, air pricing. We also have a great risk-free cancellation offer in place. So again, all of those questions with regard to pricing and availability, I can't stress enough to please reach out to your favorite travel agent. But yes, there are some current promotions and even anniversary sale going on as we speak.
Perfect. Next question. So it's specific to Berlin. So when we dock in Warnemünde, is it by train or motor coach to Berlin? One of the guests wanted to clarify.
So when we dock in Vandermoon, we if you're going to Berlin with the included tour excursion or experiencing Berlin on one of our optionals, it's going to be via motor coach. But there also is, I believe, an optional where you experience some sort of train experience. I have never done that optional excursion. I went to Berlin via motor coach, but I think since we have added some opportunity to experience, I believe, a train experience in Berlin.
Perfect. And then the next question is specific to some of our guests that are, may have some mobility concerns. So do we allow scooters on board our ocean cruise ships?
We do not.
What about foldable ones? Are those allowed?
You have foldable, collapsible wheelchairs that are permitted.
Okay, perfect. And then in terms of ADA compliant staterooms, what do we offer?
Unfortunately, we don't have any sort of ADA compliant because we are not in the US. So that will be more relevant to, or would be non-applicable to our ocean cruise designs and the way we built out our ocean cruise ships. That would be more applicable to, say, the Viking Mississippi, where we will have what we call, quote unquote, ADA compliant staterooms.
Perfect. So do we have any specific staterooms on the ocean vessels that, for some of our guests that may have mobility concerns?
You do. You do. We don't, I guess should say, we don't book them that way. We don't sell them that way. But if there were questions of, as far as, needing the ability to roll in a collapsible wheelchair into what we would call, again, I don't want to call it ADA compliant because it's not, because but these are some staterooms on board the ocean vessels do have those opportunities where you have a rolling, you have a chair, you have the ability to, it's just a better, it's almost ADA compliant, but unfortunately I can't call it that because it's simply not. But yeah, you have a little bit wider area. You have some opportunity for those staterooms, and at the reservationist level, they can point you in that direction as far as which staterooms we would consider to have some of those amenities.
Perfect. And then the next question is specific to walkers. Do we allow those on board?
Yes, that's fine. I mean, again, just nothing nothing from a mechanical standpoint. So if it's a collapsible wheelchair, if you require a walker to be used, that's quite okay to be utilized. I think the problem really arises, or I should say the challenges really arise, so I can really set expectations, is the cities that we're visiting with this specific itinerary with the Viking Homelands. They're just not built to ADA compliant. You have a lot of cobble stones. You have motor coaches that don't have chair lifts. So that's really where the concerns and the, I would say the difficulty lies. It's really ashore.
Perfect. And then the last and final question is in terms of, English being spoken in a lot of these ports. Can you just give us a, quick summary on, where we're going to be at and if English is spoken in for a lot of our North American guests in these
Yeah,
ports?
absolutely. I think you'll be shocked to know that in Northern Europe, English is widely spoken throughout the itinerary, in multiple languages, but I think English seems to be especially in Northern Europe, one of the key languages for them that they learn outside of their native language. So English is very widely spoken. I don't think you're going to have any issues whatsoever in any of the countries we visit as far as communication. But yes, we take that into consideration. That's why all the announcements on board are made in English. That's why all of our tours and excursions are conducted in English. And it's really the only language that's spoken on board and our tours and excursions and instruction. As far as your local life experience and things like that, and just coming into the port of call, you're going to find that a lot of folks in these countries speak English and speak English very well.
Perfect. Well, that's it for questions. Thank you so much for your presentation, Eric. And I just want to thank all of our travel advisors and again, their clients for also joining us today. If you have any questions on this itinerary or any of Viking's itineraries, please reach out to your favorite travel advisor. Thanks again for joining Traveling Virtually with Viking, and we'll see you next time.